Hello and welcome to this presentation on Favale Retreat House, where we offer spiritual retreats on a donation-only basis. I would like to explain that briefly because why we say donation only is that we will only offer retreats based on donations left by the retreatants, and we do so because my wife and I have, although we've always had enough money to live on reasonably well, have never had excess money, and so we know what it can be like to be excluded from things we would love to do because of a lack of finances. And so literally we're open to welcoming people coming and leaving it up to them at the end of the retreat to leave us a donation. Our retreat house is located in the country in Italy, in a very lovely valley and a very small town called Favale di Malvero. As you can see on the map, Favale is where the star is inland, and from there, according to Google Earth, we're 12 kilometers as the crow flies from the sea at Rapallo. The promontory that you see pointing downwards and to the left of this picture has at its end Portofino, and going inwards towards the coast there's Santa Margherita Ligure and then Rapallo. To the left of what you see in the map here would be Genoa, and to the right would be Cinque Terre, which, as you know, is famous for walks and so on. We offer these retreats based on quite a long experience of spirituality and so on. My wife and I have been married for just over 50 years. We have 6 children and 12 grandchildren at the moment. My background a bit as to why I believe I'm in a position to offer spiritual retreats would be that, apart from the fact that pretty much from about the age of 8, I've always been very interested in spirituality and in life close to God. I've been a permanent deacon in the Catholic Church for over 37 years, having been ordained back in January of 1988. During this time, I've served in many parishes, first in South Africa and then after that in Italy. In South Africa, my service was not only in the parishes that I lived in, but I was also involved in working in some of what are now huge suburbs on the Cape Flats near Cape Town, where we knew people would arrive in great numbers after the change of government. And so we were engaged in building not only churches but centres at which people could eat as if they had no food of their own. We also put many taps on the side of the churches because people had nowhere else to get water and so on. This was a very difficult time, a very tense time in South Africa. We're talking about the late 1980s when the apartheid troubles were really hotting up. And it was a very interesting time from my point of view as well, being involved out there. However, it reached a point where the Archbishop feared that my life was in danger and I had a young family to bring up, and so he would no longer use me out in that role. And so after that, I was asked to go and to be the chaplain in the South African Navy, the only Catholic chaplain in the country among 220 Protestant chaplains. And this time included the time of bringing together what were previously enemy forces to form the new South African Defence Force. And I was there for 5 years working in that role. However, once the new government came in, they were not keen to have chaplains anymore, and so that post too came to an end. Due to family commitments and our commitment to our children and their future, and having Italian citizenship via my mom, we decided to move to Italy, and as it turns out, came to what is often acknowledged in church circles to be one of the most traditional areas of Italy, which is Liguria. And I was first for 10 years in the Diocese of Genoa, and since then I've been in the Diocese of Chiavari, which is where I currently operate in what is known as the pastoral area of Val Mauvero. Mauvero being the river that runs from Favale di Mauvero down this valley, and in the valley pastoral area includes 5 parishes of various sizes. As I say, we are fairly remote. The property includes 2 bedrooms, each with their own private bathroom, and this is where retreatants can stay. We have a chapel, and we have grounds that offer various areas in which one can go and sit quietly to spend time in contemplation other than in the chapel itself. Generally, my wife and I live here and nobody else. We're up what was a mule track. The road does not arrive at the house. There's a distance of about 300 to 400 meters from the parking to come up to the house here along a path. And as you approach it, you'll find this, what turns out to be a very old building. And it is there that we have our retreat house. As far as how the process of organizing retreat is concerned, my suggestion is that you send an email to me initially for initial contact. The address is contained in the frame at the end of this video and also in the description below. I'll then be able to indicate what our availability is, and would ask that you then send me either an email or a letter about what it is you're wanting to work on during your retreat, so that I can base my preparation on that, and we'll agree all the timing and so on when we're in contact with each other. Thank you very much for watching this video and for staying with me, and I hope to hear from you soon, and may God bless you.